It is an absolutely spectacular October afternoon in the Willamette Valley. Welcome to Autzen Stadium. Pac-12 football presented by Opus Bank. It's the Arizona State Sun Devils, the Oregon Ducks in this late October matchup.
Think about the quarterback position for Oregon. So much consternation here over the last couple of seasons about whether or not these grad transfers would run the table. Justin Herbert, I believe, is a future star for Mark Helfrich.
Well, Justin Herbert, here are the numbers from last week, and he tied an Oregon record, Anthony. 6 touchdown passes in that double overtime loss at Cal.
And in addition to that, Roxy, what really impressed me, the 56 rushing yards, because he operates both within the pocket and outside the pocket. But when you think about the first 2 starts, though, versus opponents who really haven't attacked the stack the way he's going to see this week from Arizona State.
He's going to get tested today because you know Todd Graham's team. His MO is to bring it and bring it often.
There's at least 7 players, as we look at what Arizona State did against Washington State last week, who are in a position to come downhill. So you see both players coming off the edge and X-Stunt in the middle. So from the linebacker position, DJ Calhoun will find the crease on the interior of the offensive protection, bring Luke Falk down with ferocity in the backfield. Let's see another front from the Arizona State defense here. The leading sacker in the Pac-12 Conference at the joker position. Karan Crump will be moved around all along the defensive front. He's very difficult to track down for the offense, but he can track down the quarterback.
They knocked around Luke Falk last week. 8 sacks for this Arizona State team, which is second in the Pac-12 in sacks and also the top run defense in the Pac-12 Conference.
So today, along with Wilkins, 8 starters, including 2 important Sun Devils second defensive players, Kareem Moore and Armand Perry. You see them there at the bottom. They are out. And overall, Roxy, 10 different starters have missed 25 games so far this season. So some serious injury issues here for Arizona State.
Autzen Stadium in Eugene. Arizona State, Oregon. Both teams in desperate need of a win. It is rocking here in Eugene despite the 5-game losing streak for Oregon. A look at Dylan Sterling Cole, the true freshman, Anthony, making his first career start for Arizona State today.
I'm sure there's some viewers out there that like arm strength, overall arm talent, if you will. It's going to be a fun one to watch Dylan Sterling Cole try to operate against this Oregon defense and the way he can let the football hum.
In the lightning yellow, Matt Wogan will kick it off for Oregon. And this one goes into the end zone. Gump Hayes lets it sail through the back of the end zone along with Kalen Balaj. And the Arizona State offense at the 25 will go to work. And as Lewis talked about, Anthony, the change at quarterback, we saw Dylan Sterling Cole last week in relief of Manny Wilkins. But now he's had a full week of practice, and after getting some experience last week, what do you expect?
I expect to see them try to get him in rhythm early in the game with some short passes, the ability to, especially if we see the off coverage towards the wide side of the field that we normally see from Oregon, hoping that they can have him complete some early balls to get comfortable.
Kalen Balaj, the running back, and Balaj goes right up the middle.
It certainly has. This is a defense for Oregon that's been injury-plagued, and an offense, as we look at right here, Stephon McCray taking a knee on the field. Yet another player, it looks like, having the injury bug bite them for the Devils.
And that's the last thing that Todd Graham needed to see. Bailey has moved inside. Zach Robertson at right tackle. Dylan Sterling Cole complete to Kalen Balaj. First down, Arizona State out to the 40.
Roxy, you mentioned Brady Hoke, the defensive coordinator for Oregon. He really anticipated that Arizona State would come out and try to run the football at his defense because they've been so ineffective.
Our first look at the Sparky today. Frederick Gamage in motion. Kalen Balaj, a short game. Another name and number I don't see out there for ASU is Tim White, who was banged up coming into this game. And he was not back to return the opening kick as the ball is juggled and dropped by Jalen Harvey.
So really maybe anyone in the country, and Jalen Harvey in less targets. He's had some drops this season as well. That's one thing that I believe we're going to have to see Dylan Sterling Cole take a little steam off the football as hard as he can throw it.
Kyle Williams, who has spent most of the season as a defensive back, the true freshman from Murrieta, California, is in at receiver. On third down, Sterling Cole. N'Keal Harry can't make the diving catch, trying to get it to the true freshman, the standout from Chandler, Arizona.
The arm strength is one thing, but to be able to put the touch on the football necessary, as N'Keal Harry makes a nice release off the line of scrimmage, able to get behind Tyree Robinson.
8th in the country at over 46 yards per punt. The lefty blasts this one, end over end. Charles Nelson tells everybody to get away from it, takes an Arizona State bounce, and it goes out of bounds. The Ducks will go on offense for the first time at their own 21-yard line as Mark Helfrich, now in his 4th season, the Oregon native, but just a couple of years ago at Oregon playing in the national championship game. And the true freshman Herbert, who's just from a couple of miles down the road, Sheldon High School, tied the Oregon record with 6 touchdown passes last week. Jalen Brown, the motion man. Herbert to throw on first down. It's complete. Darren Carrington the catch. And he's out to the 28, a pickup of 7. And we've hyped Arizona State's run defense, Anthony, but their pass defense is the worst in college football. They're giving up more than 386 yards per game through the air. Royce Freeman his first carry, and he's hit behind the line against this stout run defense. And a defense that's without Armand Perry. No Salamo Fiso, who got hurt last week against Washington State. Herbert slips it out to Pharaoh Brown. Pharaoh Brown into ASU territory, and Brown down the sideline. Pharaoh Brown, touchdown Oregon. "72 yards for the Ducks."
Pharaoh Brown normally becomes a lead blocker from this backfield set. Here he's at the in-line position. Pre-snap, there was so much that was happening with movement in the backfield, but they're able to just long enough pick up Arizona State what they're bringing from that potential 7-man pressure. And Pharaoh Brown, looking like his old self, able to go 72 yards to the paint.
11th career touchdown. The kicker, Aiden Schneider, brings the swinging gate back in. And the junior from Portland, Aiden Schneider, connects. Pharaoh Brown's 3rd touchdown catch this season in Oregon. A 72-yard touchdown pass from Justin Herbert to Pharaoh Brown.
He was one of the rare talents as a playmaker, as a tight end. When his career began, we saw the crushing, the crippling knee injury he had just a couple of seasons back. Missed all of 2015. So many people so happy to see him start to round back into form at this point.
And there was not just question if he'd ever play again, but would he even keep his leg with how bad that injury was at Utah a few years ago, as Tim White is back there to take a knee and out to the 25. But just a remarkable comeback, and it's great to see Pharaoh Brown excelling again.
Coming into the weekend, Arizona State had given up more explosive plays, 20 yards plus, than anyone else in the country. You know, California, off the bye week they played the other night, so now Cal has given up more than the Sun Devils. But right now, Arizona State 11th. Oregon 10th in explosive plays allowed with their defense, so we could see some fireworks today.
Cody Cole, the motion man. There is a flag down. Dylan Sterling Cole keeps out across the 35. Alana Apelu on the tackle for the Ducks.
Number 32 of the defense in the neutral zone at the snap. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Was thought of in recruiting as a pro-style quarterback, but certainly has wheels to be able to hurt defenses as a runner.
Play action. Kalen Ballage the catch. Ballage chopped down at the 45, right near the marker by Tyree Robinson. And Nick Ralston in the game right now for the Sun Devils. Frederick Gamage in motion. Ralston, it's a reverse, a pitch back to Sterling Cole. Kalen Ballage is open. Ballage inside the 20 and knocked out of bounds. Ralston's the running back. And Nick Ralston powers his way down to the 15.
Kalen Ballage starts from the backfield. They're offset. So linebacker coverage bust as they bite with eyes into the backfield. And you saw Brendan Schooler, who came downhill from the safety position.
J.J. Wilson, the motion man. 2nd and 6. And it's Ralston straight ahead. Ballage powers his way through the line, into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona State.
They like to use this as essentially a counter play. So you saw the backside guard pull across the formation. That was Quentin Bailey. And then they used the 2 lead blockers.
Zane Gonzalez You can make the argument he's the best kicker in the history of college football. And he knocks it through, and we're knotted at 7. Zane Gonzalez sails it through the back of the end zone. It'll come out to the 25 for Oregon. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. And how about this note on the Ducks, Anthony? In the last 13 games, the teams have combined in which Oregon has played in to 65 or more points. That ties the most in college football history with Texas Tech back in the early 2000s. Well, Oregon has also scored 20 or more in 37 consecutive games, which is the longest active streak in college football. Royce Freeman on first down. And Freeman picks his way out to the 35. That should be a Ducks first down.
Now that run looks a little bit more like the Royce Freeman we've come to know and love. Getting vertical, running through contact, pad level down. He didn't look like that last week versus Cal.
Herbert over the middle, Farrell Brown the catch. First down Ducks. Todd Graham wasn't happy about what just transpired on the field because a late substitution for Oregon, and Arizona State didn't have a chance to counter, and the officials tried to jump in.
This is one of the things that the tempo of the Ducks can affect.
Short gain for Freeman. But in college, when you sub and you bring a guy in, you're supposed to give the opposition a chance to counter on a substitution, and the Ducks went too quick for the referees that time.
That's where the umpire or the referee behind the ball should be stepping in to make sure there is that opportunity to sub.
Herbert to the outside, it's incomplete.
That's one of the things that's interesting about this QB position for the Ducks, because when Dakota Prukop was in as the starting quarterback initially during the season, the tempo of the Ducks offense was a bit of a frustration for Mark Helfrich and his staff. They actually say that Justin Herbert has operated at a higher tempo.
And the official stop play, there's a flag.
Full start, number 54 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Right tackle Calvin Throckmorton called for the false start.
52, thank you.
The decisiveness in the passing game is what really impressed me. Start one against Washington, one of the best defenses in college football. Of course, very difficult with the amount of pressure he was under. Not nearly the pressure he was under last week versus Cal, and so he was able to kind of operate at a higher level from a decision-making standpoint.
He'll run into ASU territory, but shy of a first down. Looks like they're going to go for this. Herbert to Jaylen Brown, first down Ducks.
It's an accurate pass, right on the money. And he saw that there was man coverage on the outside. Arizona State brought 7, took advantage of the one-on-one matchup.
Royce Freeman on the first down carry, spins to the outside. Freeman steps out of bounds, shy of the 30.
For Justin Herbert, especially because of the fact that the coverage was off. So when you only need 4 yards and Jaylen Brown able to make that quick inside stick move, it's an easy read, nice throw and catch.
Freeman 4 carries, 21 yards, first down Oregon. Our apologies to our former colleague Rick Neuheisel. Today in this game, punting is not winning. On the move, Herbert for the end zone, touchdown! Charles Nelson adjusting for the catch.
There were multiple things that broke down on this play that made it more difficult than it should have been. Coming across the formation, Johnny Munt trips over one of the Arizona State defenders, and he and Charles Nelson jumped too early but had the gloves to stick them into the sky and make the late snatch.
Nelson, who had 2 touchdown catches in Berkeley last week. And the kick is good. There is a flag as Aiden Schneider knocks it through. And we'll check the marker here and see if the extra point will hold.
Back at Autzen Stadium, things didn't start off bright and sunny here. Watch Johnny Munt. He's going to motion across the formation and then collide in the backfield, completely falling. But that didn't stop Charles Nelson with the outside release continue to work with his quarterback on what essentially ends up being a scramble drill. Munt should be the protector on this roll action. He collides in the backfield, and then Charles Nelson jumps too early to play the ball in flight. but he's able to get some hang time going, a la Michael Jordan. Let's put a Nike swoosh on that with a hashtag 12best.
Speaking on the other side of the Adidas uniforms by Arizona State, I'm digging them today. I like the new look from the Sun Devils. These are cool. Tim White to a knee. N'Keal Harry in motion. Harry on the tunnel screen. He's out to the 29. Ugo Amadi on the stop. Nick Ralston in the backfield with Kalen Ballage. Ballage brought down, no gain. Tripped up by T.J. Daniel.
Autzen Stadium coming to life on 3rd and long.
Timeout Sun Devils. Play clock was winding down. They are in danger of a delay of game.
Prior to the expiration of the play clock, timeout, Arizona State. They're first.
It'll pass the midway point of the first quarter, and yes, it is approaching Halloween, which is coming up early next week, but I don't think that look in the stands was influenced by Halloween, to be honest. Sterling Cole on the move, and he's wrapped up, lost the football out of bounds.
From a decision-making standpoint, didn't see any receivers that were wide open. The only thing I may change is just for him to throw the football out of bounds to avoid taking that hit. Once you can tell you're actually not going to be in position to run and pick up the first down, because Jimmy Swain was certainly in hot pursuit.
Almost blocked. He gets knocked down. There's a flag. Charles Nelson on the return. And Nelson, a short return, but there is a flag in the area where Matt Hawk let fly.
Running into the kicker, number 49 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's surprising to me. Maybe I didn't see it correctly in live action, but he's there. And yeah, the plant leg is up in the air. It wasn't on the ground, but the rusher did hit the plant leg.
And Matt Hawk sends this one toward Charles Nelson. Takes an Arizona State bounce, scooped up by Nelson, who made an initial fair catch call. That's why the officials blew it dead. Ducks with the ball at the 22 is Nelson. Here he was, and once Nelson makes that signal right there, he did kind of put the hand up, but that's enough in the officials' eyes to signal for a fair catch. He's given himself up.
It was sort of a half-hearted above wave. I'm not quite going fair catch, then I'm not quite going poison. It was well done by the officials just to blow the play dead.
Oh wait, I might be able to do something with this. Darren Carrington in motion, flag down. Justin Herbert to the outside. Carrington the catch.
Offside. Number 1 of the defense lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. First down to Oregon.
JoJo
snap. He had an opportunity to hit Royce Freeman out in the flat. Decided not to take that even though Freeman was open. Went with the hole shot up the sideline instead. That showed some confidence.
From the 45. And now the officials blow the play dead.
Full start, number 78 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Right guard Cameron Hunt. Let's check in with Lewis Johnson.
Hey, Roxy, since the start of this game, Todd Graham has been on one knee in front of his defense every chance he's had. Of course, these schematic conversations I can't reveal, but he's been encouraging his defense to use good technique, continue to fight on defense, and try to slow down this Ducks offense that's been gashing them with the explosive plays. He even said to some of his leaders, you guys know what to do. Make the calls and make the defense happen. Roxy?
All right, Lewis, Farrell Brown again with the catch into Arizona State territory, and that's Todd Graham's a defensive guy. He's going to be heavily involved in every aspect of that side of the football.
Between himself, his defensive coordinator, Keith Patterson, they've given up a lot of explosive plays, but when they've chosen to, they've been able to beat up quarterbacks. We haven't seen them get a lot of pressure on Herbert so far.
Herbert complete.
It's been because of a combination of tempo and decisiveness from Justin Herbert, getting the football out of his hands very quickly in certain situations, just taking his profit, not always going for the big play.
Herbert is 8 of 9 for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. He'll tuck it and run. He'll slide.
That makes him defenseless at that point. Certainly wasn't a big hit.
It looked like Carlos Mendoza pulled off.
Yeah, agreed.
2nd and 5. Royce Freeman powers to an Oregon first down.
Brady Aiello did an outstanding job sticking and staying on the block with Laiu Makiola, the left tackle position. That was textbook.
From the 25, Royce Freeman bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Good surge led by Carlos Mendoza and Marcus Ball.
After that first down play, not sticking in full tempo mode here, trying to hurry up anymore.
Herbert. Charles Nelson dancing inside the 20. Shy of a first down.
When we see over on the sideline them using the dark curtains. They got the Duck logo on it, but as we saw last season when they faced Arizona State with the big white curtains shielding their signals on the sidelines from the Sun Devils.
They've upped their game this year. Through the hands of Pharaoh Brown, incomplete.
They came in having gone for the third most fourth down attempts in the conference so far this season.
And Todd Graham calls timeout before the snap.
Arizona
His
State
second.
has called their second timeout of the half. 30 seconds in duration.
So 4th and 4, and the Oregon Ducks have been a little bit off target the last couple of years. So here's, you go back to the start under Mark Helfrich, but now the decline, and they're trying to snap a 5-game losing streak today. So Mark Helfrich rethinks his decision, now sends his kicker Aiden Schneider out there. Taylor Alley is the holder. 36 yards. Schneider. It's good. And Schneider is now just 4 for 4 in his field goals this year. But it gives the Ducks a 10-point lead. Tim White will bring it out. Tim White, who returned one for a touchdown last week on a punt, gets that one out near the 30-yard line. He is 4 of 7 for 61 yards to begin the ball game. Kalen Balaj straight ahead. 2nd down 8. There is a flag.
False start. Number 51 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
They've had to move some pieces around a linebacker this week. Sterling Cole fires it, and a sliding catch by Frederick Gamage. Rather check it, Jalen Harvey with a catch out across the 40. 1st down, ASU.
That's what teammates need to do when you've got a young quarterback on the field. This wasn't an extremely accurate ball. Jalen Harvey had to go outside his cage, back shoulder, probably thrown too hard again, but he made the grab.
Sterling Cole keeps, and he's into Oregon territory. Knocked down by Troy Dye right near the marker. And it is enough for a Devils 1st down.
We see Chip Lindsey trusting his true freshman quarterback to go some tempo.
Open. Harvey the catch. Harvey down near the 25. He was the 4th guy going into camp this year. All types of injuries that started in training camp for ASU at quarterback. No gain for Kalen Balaj as Jalen Jelks and Henry Mondu on the tackle, but Manny Wilkins, Brady White. You also had Bryce Perkins in the mix. Kalen Balaj throwing. J.J. Wilson, 1st and goal, Arizona State.
It's presented the opportunity because you've seen them get the ball to Balaj in those situations and him just be a determined runner over and over again.
Here is Balaj, and he lunges down to the 1-yard line. There is a flag. Dylan Sterling Cole, he's in, touchdown.
Offside, number 35 of the defense. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
They will take a look at this. The ruling on the field is a touchdown run for Dylan Sterling Cole. But that was an impressive answer, should this touchdown hold up, Anthony, for Arizona State. As Oregon had all the momentum, they're up 17-7. You have a true freshman in his first career start on the road in a hostile environment, and he just took him down the field, 8 plays, 70 yards. Here's one more look.
And look for the nub of the football as Sterling Cole is extending it away. So at that point, unless there's an angle that says with certainty, in an indisputable sort of way, that he began losing the football before he began to cross the goal line, then this should remain a touchdown.
After further video review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown, Arizona State.
So Terry Lydon telling us it stands. Zane Gonzalez. And the extra point pulls Arizona State within 11 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. And We already have 31 points, Anthony. Buckle up.
I'm digging the variety of play calls here from Chip Lindsey. Swing pass out in the backfield to Kalen Ballage. Barely takes a step, whips those shoulders around, and basically shot puts the football out to J.J. Wilson. Now here the read is key because the defense is now keyed on Kalen Ballage as he's attacked them throughout the drive. Sterling Cole able to stretch that football out and get it across the stripe.
Zane Gonzalez, the kickoff. And they'll stay put. Charles Nelson takes a knee.
Our boss Kyle, not Trevor.
Yes, that's
Trevor's
true. Trevor was with the Pumpkins. He's carving them right now.
I'm guessing he's busy getting ready for a Charlie Brown Halloween.
Start of the second quarter along with Anthony Herron and Lewis Johnson. Roxy Bernstein with the Autzen Stadium in Eugene. Justin Herbert. Karan Crump with his first road sack of the season. The Pac-12 sack leader, Karan Crump, with his 9th of the year, his previous 8, it all come at Sun Devil Stadium. And he gets the sack, but then he goes down with an injury.
This is as Herbert rolled out. Crump, as he's been doing throughout the season, did a great job closing.
There is Karan Crump, and I guess the good news is he did walk off the field under his own power. And
Will Keith Patterson, who does not bring additional rushers.
Tony Brooks James to the outside. Has a first down. 30 yards.
That's a great decisive read. And Tony Brooks James able to run through one tackle and then just eat up the angles of the other oncoming tacklers.
How about this setup from Oregon? Jaylen Brown cuts it back in. First down, Oregon. How about that look that they gave Arizona State?
Calvin Throckmorton, they moved him, motioned him outside, became a lead blocker. You saw a bit of patience there from Herbert before he actually threw the football to the outside.
12 yards and a first. Tony Brooks James, big hole up the middle, spins right past Jamarcus Rhodes, and the Ducks move the chains again. From the 23, Herbert will run. Justin Herbert down to the 16-yard line. Second down and 3. Royce Freeman behind the line, keeps the play alive, but nothing there. DJ Calhoun closes in along with Viliami Latu for the Sun Devils. 3rd and 7. Todd Graham gets a timeout. There is some confusion with ASU defensively.
Third and final timeout of the half.
And Alani Latu ran onto the field late. Todd Graham trying to get everybody on the same page before a big 3rd and 7. Herbert, too high. Incomplete, looking for Darren Carrington. This is straight on a 37-yarder. Schneider. And he got it. And it's 20-14, Oregon. Sends this one deep. From the end zone, here comes Tim White. White. Brought down shy of the 20. ASU 18-yard line. Dylan Sterling Cole, his first career start. And it's Nick Ralston on the carry, and Ralston wrapped up. Ballage in motion. Ralston bounces it outside. Nick Ralston stumbles.
Pre-snap recognition from Sterling Cole. Going with the run-pass option.
Sterling Cole will keep. Cuts it back in. And he goes down. One of those losses last week against Washington State after losing 2 weeks ago in Boulder. Dylan Sterling Cole. Sacked. Troy Dye, the first man there. Also help from Eddie Hurd.
On the outside, Arian Springs ends up playing the inverted technique correctly, and so Sterling Cole had nowhere to go with the football. We saw Arian Springs outside of the corner position give up multiple touchdowns early in their game versus Cal last week, led to him losing his starting job.
But it was Arian Springs who had the game-clinching interception in Tempe last season when he picked off Mike Bercovici to seal the thriller for Oregon. Sterling Cole, smothered.
This is where the pocket presence isn't fully evolved yet, because people aren't necessarily winning clean as they're attacking the pocket. This would have been an opportunity to keep some throwing mechanics going and then just continue to have a throwing base. But Dylan Sterling Cole just sort of still uncomfortable as he sits back there.
And this is a beauty. Charles Nelson inside his 15. And Nelson brought down shy of the 20.
Brookhoff with the ball. Throw the fade route. Going for Carrington. It's intercepted! It's intercepted! Back to throw again. Looks over the field. Throws it. Intercepted. Game over. 52-49 in double overtime.
Some heartbreak for Oregon during this 5-game losing streak, and some tough losses at games that very easily they could have been on the winning end of.
0-3 this season in games decided by 10 points or less.
Royce Freeman, a first down carry, pushed out of bounds. On second down, Justin Herbert open over the middle. And a short gain to Pharaoh Brown, who has just gone over 100 yards receiving. We check in with Lewis Johnson.
Yeah, so Karan Crump, who we saw on the field earlier in pain, got back up. Trainers looked at him. He did a couple of sprints and jumped. He was back in the game. But then a few moments ago, here he is back on the sideline. They're looking at his right knee. The face said a lot, and now there's a brace going in the right knee. We'll try to find out more in just a moment, Ross.
Lewis, what else could go wrong for this Arizona State team? It's remarkable the injuries they're dealing with. Charles Nelson, the catch, first down Oregon, but here's more with Lewis.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, the other thing that they don't want to hear is that Stephen McCray, the big fellow, the right guard who left the field in the first quarter, is back out with no shoulder pads. They were looking at his right shin and ankle, so there's, again, more bad news they don't want.
It just is piling up for Todd Graham at Arizona State. On first down, Herbert pumps, open. Jaylen Brown into Arizona State territory.
But Herbert just doesn't look like a true freshman. His decision making, the comfort he has in the pocket. Again, another hole shot. Now, this is a late roll from the safety. Not in position yet, but part of that because of the pump fake that makes the spacing much wider for the secondary.
Screen set up, Tony Brooks-James. Spins. Close to a first down. 2nd and 1. Tony Brooks-James pushed back, spins to the sideline. Brooks-James, first down, Oregon.
Roxy, it's easier said than done. When pre-snap, you can tell the defense is in a penetration mode coming into the backfield. As a running back, it's your job to run through the smoke, to break through that glass, knowing that there may be defensive bodies flying by you.
Justin Herbert will tuck it and run. Herbert knocked forward to the 15.
Because all it takes is one missed tackle or one voided gap, and then the speed of the Ducks can make a big play.
2nd and 5. Pharaoh Brown. Short gain on his 5th catch already of this first half. Marcus Ball on the stop.
One of the things I like about what Matt Lubick and Mark Helfrich are doing with the play calls is that they can tell the defense is slanting toward the direction they believe Royce Freeman will run the football to. That's taking their presence away.
Freeman hit behind the line, breaks a tackle. Brought down. 3rd trip into the red zone, 3rd time they've lined up for a field goal. Schneider's 2 for 2 today. Schneider 3 for 3, so he was 3 for 3 on the season coming in. He's made 3 field goals in this one. Matt Wogan, a returnable kick. And out to the 25-yard line. Sambo holds the fort down for us in the booth.
Doing the work of roughly 5 people up here to help us out.
Basically. Sparky look for Kalen Ballage and a short gain. Cody Cole in motion for Dylan Sterling Cole. He's on the rollout. Coming back. Incomplete. Unable to get a foot in. Kyle Williams in motion. Off his back foot, incomplete with the pressure coming.
Talking pocket presence, and so there is an arc to this pocket initially. We're going to see Sterling Cole. There's an opportunity to maybe just slightly step up, slide the pocket, climb vertically to where there's a seam, as opposed to just eating the football or staying in harm's way. He just doesn't quite seem to have that feel yet.
Short kick, calling for a fair catch, and sliding to make the catch is Charles Nelson.
Well, we showed earlier this Arizona State defense has given up as many explosives as anyone in the Pac-12 conference this season, so maybe Oregon can go big play and look to get a 2-for-1 from a possession standpoint.
38th straight game, the Ducks have scored at least 20 points. There's a flag in the backfield. Justin Herbert incomplete, and the flag is in the area of holding.
Holding, number 68 of the offense, 10-yard penalty. First down will be repeated.
I'd say that's the main bugaboo I would sense with this offensive line, the amount of freshmen they have there. A lot of the penalties have been on the guys up front.
First carry for Kenai Benoit. Marcus Ball, the tackle, along with Carlos Mendoza for the Sun Devils.
That's one of the fun things about Oregon's offense. Normally, a lot of teams around college football would have to count on throwing the football in this scenario if you are trying to go hurry up and score quickly.
Tipped, and it's incomplete. JoJo Wicker got his hands up on that one. Quarterback draw. Justin Herbert bounces it outside. Shy of a first down, he's knocked out by Gump Hayes.
If it's not, this is showing immense confidence in the defense as much as the offense by Helfrich.
Open, slipping out. Johnny Munt the catch into Sun Devil territory, and a first down, and there's a flag coming in late.
Because this isn't a play call that you make if you don't think your defense can come up with a stop in minus territory. Johnny Munt's had a big day in motion.
After the conclusion of the play, personal foul. Unnecessary roughing. Number 85 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
I wonder if Terry Lyden pointed the wrong way. He said number 85 of the defense, but there is not an 85 on the defense for Arizona State. It could be he meant Pharaoh Brown of Oregon.
Correction, the foul is on number 85 of the offense. After the first down was obtained, 15-yard penalty.
Well, it's a dead ball foul, so it's from the spot. That's why they lose the yardage back.
Kenai Benoit picks his way.
Sorry, partner. Not sure what Coach Helfrich is so upset about.
Karan Crump back in the game. And we were talking to Mark Helfrich and their offensive coordinator, Matt Lubick, yesterday about all these penalties. And some of the penalties, they both said you can live with. The penalties of trying to make a play. It's the effort plays and the effort penalties are okay. It's the dumb penalties they need to eliminate. There's a sack.
Now the ASU defense gaining yards. Excellent club move, getting the shoulders skinny around the offensive blocker. You love the violence of the hands there from Latu.
But the penalty like Pharaoh Brown just made, that's the one that will drive the Oregon coaches crazy. Kenai Benoit wrapped up after the screen near midfield. Marcus Ball, the first man there for the Sun Devils. They needed to run a number of plays considering last week against Cal in that game in Berkeley where the Golden Bears ran an FBS record 118 plays in that game against Oregon. Timeout taken by Oregon.
30 seconds in duration.
Well, Roxy, Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert attended Sheldon High School. It's only about 1.5 miles from here. And he was a busy guy, multi-talented, 3 sports, baseball, basketball, football. And then there was this. He was the president of the fishing club. This picture was taken from his sophomore year in high school. We have to thank his high school teammate Kyle for sharing the pic. But how about that? He had all the bases covered from sports to the fishing club. And I don't know what kind of fish that is. Any of you guys have a clue?
I'm not a fisherman. And I really don't eat fish. So, Anthony?
I'm quite a fan of sockeye salmon. I can't tell for sure if that's what that was. But if it was, I'm jealous because I love sockeye salmon.
And Lewis alluding to he was busy, just a 3-sport standout at Sheldon High School. In his junior year, he was the winning pitcher in the state championship game and drove in the game-winning run. And did not enroll early in Oregon. He finished out his high school career, had a tremendous baseball career, and came in here in the fall and is now the starting quarterback as a true freshman. Ian Wheeler with a short punt. It takes an Arizona State bounce, and it's down by Tyree Robinson.
On spec, very quick arm action. The ball gets out of his hands extremely quickly with good velocity. Dangerous mobility he has. We've seen that on display every start he's had so far. Makes proper decisions when to run as well. Exceptional schematic command. He looks very comfortable for a true freshman in the lineup, and that to me says as much as anything. And so we've all been a little curious about the Oregon program, these graduate transfers at quarterback. Justin Herbert is a true freshman through 3 starts. It looks like this is a job he's going to be able to hold down for a while.
The true freshman, Dylan Sterling Cole to the outside to Kyle Williams, and it's short hops. We have not seen Tim White on offense. We've seen him only on returns. High and a nice one-handed grab by Kyle Williams. And 11. Sterling Cole intercepted. Kalana Apello with the pick. And the former walk-on comes away with the interception, his first career pick.
The pressure in the pocket is what forces this throw to sail high. And at only 5'11", 200 pounds, Kalana Apello wasn't even on scholarship when he initially reported, as you mentioned, partner. We talked to Don Pelham, the linebacker coach, former defensive coordinator, about Apello. This has been one of my favorite young players in the Pac-12 throughout these last few weeks because he wasn't in the lineup early in the season. And as Apello has started to emerge as of late, Pelham told me just yesterday he loves this kid because he's willing to attack. He's built like a DB but plays like a linebacker.
Justin Herbert over the middle for Pharaoh Brown, and he hangs on.
That 6'6" frame on display. Justin Herbert putting the ball where only Pharaoh Brown could get it.
Tony Brooks-James dancing. Brooks-James inside the 5. Now Ducks with 13 seconds left in the half.
And this, not just the anticipation, but the placement of the football. Beyond the second level, but before the third level can react.
30 seconds in lane.
Comes out a little wobbly. Look at Pharaoh Brown, willing to put his body on the line as Jamarcus Rose comes in and lays the thunder.
Herbert. There he is one more time. 2 touchdowns today, Pharaoh Brown.
And they beat one of the few experienced players on the field at the linebacker position, DJ Calhoun. Made it look easy.
And this last sequence here, the interception, the short field, the touchdown, could be a backbreaker for Arizona State. 30-14, Oregon, and an enormous day continues for the senior from Lyndhurst, Ohio, Pharaoh Brown.
He acted like he was blocking for just a moment. That averts the eyes of the linebacker Calhoun, who's paying attention to Royce Freeman in the backfield, while his eyes go to Freeman to the field side. And that's where Calhoun is late trying to cover Pharaoh Brown. The physicality previously that put them in striking distance down in the red zone. Big physical grab from Brown that set up his touchdown.
And we touched on his story earlier, Anthony. It's just remarkable that he's come back from that horrific injury suffered in Salt Lake City 2 years ago, was a medical redshirt last year. And this was the premier tight end in the conference prior to that injury. And he's probably not all the way back. He's still working his way back to that form. But we're seeing flashes of what Pharaoh Brown can do and why he was the best tight end of the Pac-12.
He's even had to miss some time this season. He's been a bit banged up, but continuing to work, putting that time in off the field to get himself as healthy as possible.
Squib kick from Matt Wogan. Kalen Ballage wrapped up, doesn't even reach the 20. Nick Ralston straight ahead, Out across the 20, that'll take us to halftime. Sensational first half for Herbert. We send it down to Lewis Johnson.
And we start with defense. It's been 14 quarters since you guys have had a defensive turnover. Your thoughts on getting that ball and stealing a possession in here?
That's a horrible statistic right there. No, it was big. We were trying to get in a position to force him to punt and did a great job of pressuring the passer and getting our hands on the ball and coming down with it.
And something else big, Pharaoh Brown being back and the way he's impacted this game. Your thoughts on his performance?
His confidence is building. Obviously, the penalty we don't want to have happen, and that little extracurricular, but he's playing hard and playing with more confidence.
And then Justin Herbert?
He's doing some good things. Had a couple plays that he'll want to do over again, but got 2 more quarters to roll.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks,
Roxy.
All right, Lewis. He's doing some good things. 24 through the air, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, a passer rating of north of 230. It's 30-14 Ducks at the half, and Pharaoh Brown a big reason why. Pac-12 football presented by Opus Bank. The Can-Am game summary, and for the first half, and the freshman Justin Herbert, just his 3rd start here today at Autzen Stadium, and he's found a pretty good target to sync up with in Pharaoh Brown, as the Ducks offense has been terrific, over 400 yards of total offense in the first half. But the combination of Herbert and Brown has been effective.
It's a big part of how they were able to start to seize control of this ball game during the second quarter, and I was really impressed with how Justin Herbert operated from within the pocket. But here, the way the plays got called, because Johnny Munt did a great job screening off both linebackers as he worked the in-cutting route. And then Pharaoh Brown from there was able to use that speed that we haven't seen for a couple of seasons out in space to go 72 yards for the touchdown. Different look here. Pharaoh Brown again from the end line position, but now bursting through the second level of the defense, and the timing, the placement of the football here on this route, the throw and catch from Herbert to Brown again. Now let's watch him down inside the 10-yard line, utilizing the big frame, the play action there, ball handling in the backfield from Herbert, then hitting a nice easy throw and catch to Brown for another touchdown.
Pharaoh Brown, 7 catches, 129 yards receiving in the first half, and 2 touchdowns for Pharaoh Brown, who 2 years ago was a first-team All-Pac-12 performer. And Justin Herbert, just his 3rd career start last week against Cal, tied an Oregon game record with 6 touchdown passes. And he's in pretty distinguished company with Joey Harrington, Marcus Mariota, Danny O'Neal, Vernon Adams, and Darren Thomas. And now you can add Justin Herbert to the list of Oregon quarterbacks that have thrown 6 touchdowns in a game. Skips to Charles Nelson from Zane Gonzalez. Nelson blasted as he reached the 15-yard line. That was a big collision there on special teams, and that'll pin Oregon back at the 17-yard line. Let's check in with Lewis Johnson.
Well, Roxy, with a slew of injured players to start this game and key injuries at the defensive secondary, I asked Todd Graham, how does he deal with Oregon's offense here in the second half? And he said, well, their defensive secondaries just made some critical mistakes in the first half. Communication issues. He said he tried 2 to 3 different guys at linebacker. They just had blown coverages. They just need to settle down and try to play some solid defense. As for his freshman quarterback, Dylan Sterling Cole, he said he's just got to protect the ball and not turn it over. And Karan Crump is back out here, still has that brace on the right knee.
Justin Herbert on first down, throwing the deep ball. Incomplete, tried to get it to Darren Carrington.
Getting far more opportunities today because Kareem Orr out of the lineup. Really well played there by Chandler, bringing that arm from the backside all the way over the top to play the football in flight without picking up the flag.
Wouldn't have mattered anyways. Penalty against Oregon backs them up inside the 10. So Herbert, the true freshman who started his first game against Washington a few weeks ago. The first true freshman to start a game at quarterback for Oregon since 1983 when Chris Miller started. Hit behind the line and a loss. Royce Freeman bottled up. They see Smallwood, and as you alluded to, the comparison with Will Sutton. Herbert lost the ball in the end zone, got it back, and it's broken up incomplete. That could have been desperate times there for Oregon as Karan Crump knocked it free from Justin Herbert.
Well, the former basketball star went and one mixtape in his own end zone. The ball bounces directly back up into the cool, calm hands of Justin Herbert, and he's able to get a pass off.
Good to see Karan Crump back out there. 3rd down. Drop play, Royce Freeman. Out across the 10. Wheeler with a nice punt. White calls for a fair catch and makes it at the Arizona State 46-yard line. A 44-yard. Here's a look at the updated Pac-12 standings after Washington's big win at Salt Lake City over Utah. The Huskies remain unbeaten, 8-0 on the season, 5-0 in Pac-12 play. And the Cougs in action up the road later tonight in Corvallis against Oregon State, trying to stay unbeaten in conference play. And we could be headed toward the Apple Cup with two unbeaten teams in conference play.
This one of those games with Washington able to down Utah that the College Football Playoff Committee will certainly pay close attention to, and Heisman voters like yourself, while Jake Browning only 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception, but able to stay undefeated.
Best field position of the day for Arizona State, but they're stuck in reverse. Kalen Ballage wrapped up in a loss of 5. Another one of these talented young players, the freshman for Oregon.
Well, the unblocked players are doing a great job at slow playing the potential option. So as long as the interior of the Ducks can hold up, that frees up the edge players, the unblocked guys, to attack the stack.
2nd down, 15. Dylan Sterling Cole, his first career start, the draw. Kalen Ballage brought down near the 45. Again, it's Troy Dye.
Maybe not on 3rd and long, but this is something we need to see. Play action from Arizona State's offense this half.
Dylan Sterling Cole on the rollout. Incomplete. Charles Nelson back at his own 15. End over end punt this time. And Nelson calling for a fair catch. Oregon backed up inside their own 20-yard line, leading at 30-14. It's a beautiful October day in Eugene.
Defensive line, I would give that edge to the Utah Utes. They rush the quarterback well. They hit blocks at a high level up front.
Justin Herbert on 1st down, a gain of 9 as Charles Nelson slips out of bounds.
The awards that are fairly consistent, but show that O-line, D-line, those big ugly fellas, show them some love.
Royce Freeman, 1st down Oregon. He gets out across the 30.
Very impressed with the situational tempo of Oregon's offense. That's led by the quarterback position.
Justin Herbert underneath, Charles Nelson to the 35, and forward progress the 36 before he's knocked back by Karan Crump.
So we got the stopwatch going in the bottom left of the screen there. So initially, Justin Herbert looks towards the sideline, and so everyone quickly gets aligned, and now they're looking to snap the ball as quickly as possible. Doesn't have to be the perfect play, just get it going.
Justin Herbert to the outside. One more time, connects with Charles Nelson out of bounds. 1st down Ducks.
And so now, especially as the chains have moved, another 1st down picked up, there's even more urgency for the Ducks to try to get the ball snapped again quickly.
From the 44.
You see that ASU defensive front barely in their stances.
Jalen Brown, the motion man. Royce Freeman hit behind the line. Karan Crump, the first man there. JoJo Wicker cleaned it up.
That's an impressive play because the tempo, what it does, not just going no huddle, but showing a willingness to snap the ball quickly. It puts the defense in a tough spot because Arizona State likes to attack. They like to bring extra bodies. But if you have an automatic check-in, then it can make that difficult on the defense.
2nd and 11. On the catch, shy of midfield. They're down at 5. Tony Brooks James, the running back. Tipped at the line. JoJo Wicker forcing a punt.
I see JoJo Wicker as maybe the most well-rounded defensive lineman for Arizona State's football team. He's been a little less effective, less productive in recent weeks. Made an imprint on that snap.
And it's a fake. And the up back. 1st down Ducks. Khalil Oliver, the up back. How about the acting job from Ian Wheeler?
And it wasn't a full punt safe look from Arizona State, meaning where you leave your defense on the field just in case they run a fake. But they weren't in punt rush mode either, and so your punt team, your punt return team needs to be able to account for fakes in a situation like that when you don't have them on an all-out rush.
Well designed by special teams coach Tom Osborne in Oregon. From the ASU 35, Tony Brooks James sweeping right, cuts it back, and Brooks James pushed forward. 1st down Oregon. Again, how about this acting job from Ian Wheeler? Got to give the punter some love.
I mean, look at him get some air all up into the sky, chasing the football, just buying a few extra milliseconds, taking away from the pursuit.
Justin Herbert pumps, now he'll run, he slides at the 20. Justin Herbert steps up, and he goes down. Third sack for the Sun Devils today. They're second in the conference. Officials blow the play dead.
Their first time out of the half.
So a timeout. We'll take it as well. 8:16 to go third round. You see him on the big screen there. Into the end zone with one of his 2 touchdowns today. And the Ducks now the third down and 10 at the ASU 23. Justin Herbert throwing for the end zone. Incomplete. Both Darren Carrington and Charles Nelson were over there. It's a 40-yarder. His longest this year, 41. Plenty of leg. But he hooked it. Schneider with his first miss of the season.
The chatter that Todd Graham should be having with his players as they come off the field. Looked like the snap and hold were just fine. Schneider just pulled it. A lot of the playbook in, they're not, pulling back on the reins from him very much. That's a situational way to take some pressure off of Justin Herbert by not going for so many fourth downs.
Prior to the snap, officials timeout. Page was received from the replay system concerning the previous play.
They are checking to see how many players Arizona State had on the field, is my understanding.
The replay page was concerning the number of players on the field goal attempt. The proper number of players were on the field for both teams. First down, Arizona State.
Count along with us.
I was hoping that we would see the numbered graphic used by our production truck there. Well done.
Kalen Ballage swings over to the other side. And he takes the handoff across the 25, brought down by Wayne Tay Kirby. Sterling Cole to the outside to Nick Ralston. And he barrels his way out across the 30.
So many times so far this season where we've seen, especially the corner position on the outside for the Ducks, bite on a shorter pass, leading to a big play for the offense. Perhaps a pump and go, a double move, or a play action pass could be in store on this series for Arizona State.
First sparky look for Nick Ralston. Ellis Jefferson in motion. Ralston will run. Ralston up the middle. First down, Arizona State. Sterling Cole, wise decision to pull it, and he dives forward.
It's the proper decision to pull the ball. It would be good to see him put the ball in his outside hand because we know the defense will flow inside out and go for the football.
Nick Ralston straight ahead. First down, Sun Devils out to the 48. J.J. Wilson in motion. One more time for Nick Ralston. Bounces it to the outside. Spun around inside the 45. Jimmy Swain.
Nick Ralston was a player who was up, over 230 pounds going into last season. He's lost a bit of weight. It's made him more nimble.
Jimmy Swain wraps up Ralston that time after his short game. Come up empty on each of the last 5 possessions. Cody Cole going in motion. N'Keal Harry is open. Harry inside the 20. Ball came free late, but the officials saying he was down.
This is where I believe at the end of this play it would behoove Arizona State to try and keep some tempo going. Clean catch from Harry, accurate pass. And Sterling Cole took a little bit of velocity off the football, making it more catchable.
From the 15. Kalen Ballage. Kalen Ballage, touchdown, Arizona State. His second today.
Just well blocked at the point of attack. Nice kick out. Been a very good read, Kalen Ballage. Seeing the opportunity to bounce it outside and turn the corner at this point. But then you think about how frequently have they been able to work with Dylan Sterling Cole on specific 2-point plays.
Jack Smith in motion. Sterling Cole underneath. Open Ballage. They get the 2.
We're going to see the true freshman quarterback, Dylan Sterling Cole, off the play action. A little deeper path on the bootleg, setting up Kalen Ballage for the 2.
And watch this. Quarterback Dylan Sterling Cole takes a shot. And I mean, he gets hit, knocked down, and slow to get up. He was able to make his way to the sideline, and trainers began to look at him, did a few diagnostic tests, picked up the phone and continued to talk. Even saw the backup quarterbacks for Arizona State warming up, but right now Sterling Cole looks like he's okay.
Zane Gonzalez the kick. Charles Nelson will bring it out. Nelson, who brought one back against ASU last year, Brought down as he crossed the 20-yard line, and we send it down to Ashley Adams. Justin Herbert from the Oregon 22. Royce Freeman tries to get outside, and he's hit behind the line, and he loses yardage.
It's not quite the 300-plus he had last week.
On second down, Justin Herbert complete to Darren Carrington, and Carrington has a first down out to the 37.
Justin Herbert really trusts his accuracy. That's important. It's a big hump for a lot of young quarterbacks to get over. Sometimes it can be the bugaboo that has them throwing into too much traffic. He's really trusted not just his arm strength, but his accuracy where he locates the football.
Herbert slips it out, hit behind the line, and a loss on the play. Well read as Evan Bayless knocked down.
Because not only are there three different defenders that surround the football he delivers to Darren Carrington, but Carlos Mendoza was undercutting the route underneath. But Justin Herbert on the move, trusting his arm talent, not the arm strength, but the talent he has in his right arm to deliver the football with accuracy.
After a loss of 3, Darren Carrington pushed out of bounds at the 40.
As a young group, though, they've performed very well this season.
Substitution infraction, 12 players in formation against the defense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So a substitution infraction by Arizona State, whistled dead before the play.
The new guys aren't sure where they should match up.
On third down, Herbert dropped, tried to get it to Johnny Munt, and the defense from Gump Hayes forced the incompletion.
That's a very nice play by Gump Hayes. His first year as a collegiate defensive back, and there's some of these little things that he's gotten better at throughout the season. This is a play where maybe he'd have gone in kind of the gray area just trying to secure the tackle. This time, raking the arms around the receiver.
Wheeler with a low line drive. Tim White with some space. Brought down, there's a flag.
During the return, holding against the receiving team, number 94. 10-yard penalty, first down, Arizona State.
Kalen Ballage to the 14. Kalen Ballage into the line. Third down and 5. Dylan Sterling Cole dumps it off, and it's dropped by Kalen Ballage.
Because the pass rush was really nowhere near him at that point. So even if he just held the football for another moment, these are things that'll grow as he gets more repetition.
Matt Hawk from just outside his own goal line. A wobbly kick to Carrington. Carrington wrapped up immediately. It's Karan Crump, who also goes as a gunner for ASU.
Love it.
With the tackle, let's check in with Lewis Johnson.
Well, Roxy, beyond the hash marks, takes us into the life of his Arizona State center, Tyler McClure, a life his father calls a sports movie. And the scenes of Tyler's life have included dealing with the crushing loss of his brother, Mark Hampton, back in June of 2015, the family going through financial struggles, but fighting through it together, and then going from being rated the nation's #1 junior college center to actually walking away from the football game just before his junior year at ASU. Well, 2 weeks later, he came back because he says he loves the game. And today, because of an injury to Sam Jones, Tyler McClure got his third start at center for the Sun Devils. I think his dad's description of it being a movie, a sports movie, seems pretty accurate.
No gain for Tony Brooks James. Good stuff, Lewis. Tyler McClure, who is on the Dean's list as well. They quit and came back, and Todd Graham opened that door again for McClure. Justin Herbert on the move for Jalen Brown. Caught it. First and goal. Ducks. 49 yards.
Well, Gump Hayes has a tendency still to throttle down when he's trying to chase the 9 route. On this go from Jalen Brown, Gump Hayes looks back to play the football. He tends to slow down his coverage mechanics.
Tony Brooks James bottled up. But Justin Herbert now over 400 yards passing as Tony Brooks James is the injured Duck. The speedster who just fell in love with Oregon. We were talking to him after practice yesterday on the field, and we asked him, hey, you're almost 3,000 miles from home. What was it about Oregon that got you to come all the way across the country? I fell in love with the place. And I watched them compete in the national championship game and was looking at them and made a visit, and the deal was sealed right there. And Tony Brooks James one of those running backs that you spoke glowingly about, the stable that Mark Helfrich has.
I was struck by the confidence that he expressed just talking to us, and I asked him whether or not the productivity is because he's more confident as a football player at this point in his career in year 2 of being a true part of the offensive package. And he said yes, just being out on the field, making more plays, it's turned him into a more assertive player. And he's a bit of an emotional player. We've seen some of that emotion displayed on the sideline, not in a negative way at all. Just really wants to do well, really wants to be productive for himself and his team.
2nd and goal after no gain for Tony Brooks-James at the 6. Royce Freeman back in. Darren Carrington in motion. Rolling left, Herbert under pressure. Throws, and it's incomplete.
It was the right read, but the pressure that came from DJ Calhoun just didn't allow Justin Herbert to be able to get the football. He couldn't reset his feet to get it out there accurately to Pharaoh Brown. Johnny Munt in motion. He's been dangerous there today.
Herbert for the end zone. Incomplete. Tried to get that to Pharaoh Brown. And it's 4th down.
This would have been a very difficult grab for Pharaoh Brown. His eyes weren't quite around yet. But Justin Herbert had to throw the football with some steam on it because you're down here in the red zone. You certainly don't want to give defenders an opportunity to get their hands on it.
Schneider's numbers today, 6 of 7 on the year. Aiden Schneider. And he got it. And it's a 33-22 lead for the Ducks late 3rd quarter.
Be this good?
No. I knew he'd be really good. I didn't think he'd be putting up numbers at this level. And Cal's missed him the last few weeks. But he was stuck behind the likes of Steven Anderson, Bryce Treggs, Darius Powell, Chris you go on and on. Kenny Lawler, the receivers that he was stuck behind at Cal. So now he's getting an opportunity with Davis Webb. On the return for Arizona State, Kalen Ballage upended across the 25. Nick Ralston, the running back. Ralston. Hopping on his back was TJ Daniel. Brown down the sideline. Pharaoh Brown. Touchdown Oregon. 72 yards for the Ducks. Ballage powers his way into the end zone. Herbert for the end zone. Touchdown. Kalen Ballage, touchdown Arizona State. His 2nd today. Well, it's been a fun one at Autzen Stadium. The crowd revved up for the 4th quarter as Oregon at 33-22. Arizona State, what do they got to do here to try to pull off a bit of a shocker?
Need to continue to lean on the offensive line to run the football, but then find ways to make plays throwing the football.
How about a little hook and ladder right there from the Devils?
But just players who haven't been in these positions as long getting reps.
Kalen Ballage stumbles forward to the 45, but here's another look. How about this? Shades of the old Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Quick, accurate pass from Harvey. Flip out to Ballage.
Officials blow the play dead.
False start. Number 71 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's on Stephen Miller. It's the 4th penalty against the Sun Devils today. 2nd down 10. Dylan Sterling Cole, incomplete. Into Oregon territory and a bullet fired by Dylan Sterling Cole.
This is an absolute howitzer. There's protection in the pocket and Gamage. As soon as he comes open, the ball wasn't out of Sterling Cole's hands yet, but it got there in a hurry.
ASU goes quickly as Kalen Ballage picks up a couple. A late flag comes in from the Oregon secondary.
Infraction. 12 players on the field at the snap against the defense. 5 penalty. Clock operator, please reset the clock to read 13:52.
7th Oregon penalty today gives ASU a 1st and 5. Kalen Ballage gets a couple. Jimmy Swain the tackle. Sterling Cole today 11 of 21 for 160 yards. Under pressure, dumps it off. Kalen Ballage cuts it back in. Ballage inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Devils. Sterling Cole throws for Harry in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona State. N'Keal Harry.
For Dylan Sterling Cole. Takes another hit in the backfield, but got just enough on the football for N'Keal Harry to climb the ladder.
N'Keal Harry in motion. Broken up, getting his hand in there. Ugo Amadi for Oregon.
He became a starter this week for Arian Springs. They used some crossbuck action, little scissors concept. Amadi thwarts the effort. Sun Devils fighting their way back in at Autzen Stadium. Let's look at the key play from the last drive. Kalen Balaj from the right arm of Sterling Cole. The oncoming rushers bearing down on the quarterback. Little teardrop to his running back out of the backfield. And now here this touchdown opportunity again. Oncoming rusher TJ Daniel in the face. N'Keal Harry goes up over the top of Arian Springs. Great look at it here from the corner end zone look. This is what N'Keal Harry as a freshman has been outstanding at throughout the season, going up with the contested 50-50 grab.
Charles Nelson will bring it out. Nelson trying to bust it outside. He gets out across the 35, where he's brought down by Robbie Robinson. ASU after a 5-1 start. They've lost their last two. Oregon trying to snap a 5-game slide. Darren Carrington, its 100th career catch. I know it's getting redundant, but there's an injured Sun Devil. It's just a cramp, is what it appears to be for Maurice Chandler.
When it rains, it pours, from an injury standpoint.
But it never rains at Autzen Stadium. The legendary words of the longtime PA announcer Don Essig, who, by the way, will be celebrating his 50th season as the PA announcer this year for Oregon basketball. And how about this? It's just a picturesque day in the Willamette Valley. Look at the leaves changing color. This is what you envision when you think of college football, don't you? The surrounding area, we got just about a full stadium here at Autzen Stadium. And just a fantastic day here in the Pacific Northwest.
The weather report throughout the week was calling for rain a lot of the day here. Apparently Mother Nature remembered. It took her a bit, but remembered that it never rains at Autzen Stadium. But the game itself on the field here, you think about the season that Arizona State's had. In the first three quarters, in total points, they've been outscored first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. But when you count the points of the fourth quarter for Arizona State's games, outscoring opponents by 65 points so far this season, this has been the money quarter for the Sun Devils.
Oregon now 550 yards of total offense on 2nd and 1. Royce Freeman to the outside. Hauled down by Karan Crump, but has enough to move the sticks. First down, Ducks.
And the read itself picked up the first down for Royce Freeman. It just seems to me in recent weeks there's been a lot more bouncing outside. Defenses have done a very nice job forcing the issue, making Royce Freeman run laterally as opposed to him being able to get downhill, as we've seen so much throughout his career.
And ASU, the #1 rush defense in the conference coming into today. Justin Herbert goes down in a sack. Tayshawn Smallwood. 4 sacks for the Sun Devils.
A sweet spin move at the bottom of the screen from the big fella. You see him there pinning the inside arm of Brady Aiello. They were able to burst and finish at the quarterback. You'll see a lot of guys the size of Tayshawn Smallwood able to make a move like that.
Herbert. The screen set up. Royce Freeman. And Freeman out to the 47. 11 minutes to play. Herbert throws, caught, Johnny Munt, 20, 10, touchdown Oregon, 53 yards. Second straight week, Johnny Munt, a touchdown catch.
Liu Makiola was in coverage. Pass rush doesn't quite get home. Potential hold there with JoJo Wicker. Wakiola not able to stay with Johnny Munt.
There are flags. They blow it dead.
Ball start number 66 of the offense. The try will now be attempted from the 8-yard line after the 5-yard penalty.
Brady Aiello, the left tackle, as Terry Lydon informing us. Thank you for turning on your microphone. And Schneider converts. 40-28, Oregon. They're back up 2 scores. As Herbert has tied the school record for yards in a game with Bill Musgrave, who's now the offensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders.
It's impressive that it's right on the number somehow, 489.
Juggling it, Tim White brings it out. White, there is a flag down. Wounded Sun Devils.
Holding number 9 of the return team, half the distance to the goal. First down.
It's on J.J. Wilson. Dylan Sterling Cole fires over the middle. Jalen Harvey the catch. Harvey out near the 40-yard line, breaks a tackle into Oregon territory. Jalen Harvey the catch and run.
Now we may have to see more of a volume passing approach.
Short gain up the middle for Kalen Ballage.
I love the tenacity after the grab by Harvey. The throw and catch itself is simple enough, but look at him just biting and scratching for extra yardage.
Longest play of the day for Arizona State, 45 yards.
The Oregon defense.
Incomplete.
Right now 3rd and 8, Harvey matched up at the bottom of the screen with Tyree Robinson.
N'Keal Harry far left. Tipped. Ballage still catches it. Ballage brought down shy of the first down by Kalana Apelu.
That's a big tackle by Apelu. But he's one-on-one with Kalen Ballage. A lot of linebackers, that wouldn't be as big a deal. But Ballage outweighs Apelu by 30 pounds.
TJ Daniel got a piece of that. 4th and 3. Out the Ducks, 39. ASU 4 of 7 on 4th down this season. And a timeout taken by the Sun Devils with 9:05 to go. 4th and 3. Sterling Cole for Jalen Harvey. He caught it. No, incomplete. He juggled it. Didn't hang on.
This may have been the best pass that Dylan Sterling Cole threw all day, because on the move he had to throw a teardrop, and Jalen Harvey just sort of misjudged it for a moment, then caught back up to the football. Tyree Robinson able to force Jalen Harvey to juggle the football as he's falling out of bounds.
Over 600 yards of total offense today for the Ducks. And there is Kenai Benoit. Second effort out to the 45. Play clock down to 5. Justin Herbert. And the handoff to Kenai Benoit. And Benoit across midfield. First down Ducks to the ASU 49.
Looking back at the fake punt that took place back in the 3rd quarter. Outstanding fake from Ian Wheeler. Look at him, the vertical, then chasing the football that does not exist. Figment of Wheeler's imagination. Fueling the fake punt.
It's the weekend before Halloween.
True.
Kenai Benoit straight ahead. Lost the football. Picked up by ASU. Marcus Ball. Down to the 10-yard line.
Finally a takeaway for the Sun Devils defense, ripping the football away. I believe it was Carlos Mendoza, as Benoit just continued to struggle for extra yardage.
And here is ASU knocking on the door as Sterling Cole pitches as he was under center. Kalen Ballage picks his way inside the 5 down to the 3. And they line up in the Sparky, their version of the Wildcat. Of course, we can't call it a Wildcat. Kalen Ballage will throw. Cody Cole slips out. Touchdown, Arizona State. 11. Make that the 10th career touchdown catch for Cole. And Gonzalez knocks it through. 5-point game with 6:39 to go.
Take a look back at the execution of this play. Kalen Ballage takes the direct snap, and Cody Cole immediately leaks out into the flat, essentially an arrow route to the shorter side of the field. While it's not a pretty pass, it is a thing of beauty for Todd Graham and this team from Tempe.
The extents and the key players that ASU is dealing with.
And bodies lost during the game. That's an additional part of the equation for what Arizona State deals with tonight and has dealt with in a number of games. You know, it's one thing to at least have the opportunity to prepare backups during the week and then put them on the field to play. That's not the position that Arizona State has found themselves in a number of games.
There's Manny Wilkins, one of the injured, who was the starting quarterback. Justin Herbert will throw. And it's incomplete. Tried to squeeze that one in to Johnny Munt. Second down. Justin Herbert keeps. Herbert runs head on right into Marcus Ball, has the first down. Out across the 40.
You got to respect the grit of Justin Herbert. We've seen him slide as he moved the chains a number of times today. Here just taking on tacklers.
Too late to slide there. From the 42. Tony Brooks-James bounces it outside. He's gone. Tony Brooks-James. 58 yards. Touchdown, Oregon. There's the track star speed.
Is this the dagger? It's been punch, counter punch throughout this game between the Ducks and Devils.
11th career. And Aiden Schneider makes it 47-35. Ducks.
It's been a combustible day for the Ducks offense. 10th play of 20 yards or more. Third for a score. And none coming at a more opportune time for this Oregon offense. You see they're pressing the hole by Brooks-James, and then the sweet spin move outside. The defense for Arizona State sucked in, offensive line maintaining blocks, and like that, he's gone.
Leans for the tape there at the end. Should check in with Lewis Johnson.
And I love that lean for the tape. It was like he was on the track, Tony Brooks-James, with that 58-yard touchdown run. And I tell you what, there's a guy who knows how to use his speed. Interesting to see him earlier when they were looking at a knee, a leg, trying to see what was going on with him. He kind of sat on the right by that cooler where he is now, kind of relaxing, and then he gets back up, and you never know. Right down the track here at Austin Stadium and lead into the tape for a touchdown, guys.
Yeah, you weren't going to catch Tony Brooks-James once he got out there in space.
Well, he said, when I asked him yesterday, what do you think of yourself as a runner? How would you describe your style? He said speed and breaking tackles. Both those elements on display for 58 yards.
The kick from Matt Wogan. Kalen Ballage on the return. Ballage out across the 30, brought down shy of the 35. Let's send it back to Lewis.
Well, from Tony Brooks-James and that beautiful lean there, this is a little slower but still more impactful. That's Oregon's Edward Cheserek. This was yesterday in Tucson, Arizona at the Pac-12 Men and Women's Cross Country Championships. And Edward Cheserek right there, he will cross the tape for the 4th time in a row as the winner of the Pac-12 Cross Country Championship. No one has ever done that. He made history. And Tony Brooks-James made a little history himself, just making icing maybe this game for Oregon with that nice lean. But Cheserek, a star, as well as Tony Brooks-James. And by the way, you can catch the broadcast of the Pac-12 Men's and Women's Cross Country Championships Monday, 6 p.m. right here on the Pac-12 Network.
Well, Tony Brooks-James, a 58-yard touchdown run. Dylan Sterling Cole to Kalen Ballage. And Ballage keeps the play alive out across the 40 before he runs out of bounds.
You think about the fact that Tony Brooks-James, just in last week's game, was playing with a numb left arm. I mean, that's part of the emotion that we've seen at different points because, as Lewis Johnson was pointing out, he's been banged up. He's continued to fight his way back out onto the field.
Sterling Cole to Kyle Williams. And Williams into Oregon territory. Dylan Sterling Cole up a low snap. And it's incomplete. Tried to get it to Jalen Harvey from the Oregon 42. Short hopped into Kyle Williams. I'm going out on a limb to say this is 4-down territory.
That's likely accurate, partner.
You see how I like to stick myself out there? Dylan Sterling Cole to the outside. First down.
Sterling Cole decides, I'm going to use my arm strength, take it further downtown for the first down.
Timeout, Oregon.
I mean, this is like a rocket-propelled grenade. He's got the time to stand in the pocket. Big stride. Look at that tight spiral. RPMs on the football and a clean catch from Gamage.
Ralston, the running back. Dumped off to Ralston. Powers his way to a pickup of 5. Arian Springs on the tackle. ASU has lost their last 5 conference road games dating back to last October. Frederick Gamage, a sliding catch inside the 15. Have just 1 timeout remaining. Dylan Sterling Cole to Kyle Williams. Dances inside the 10.
I wonder if there would have been a chance to get him to the boundary for a potential one-on-one matchup on the short side.
Over the middle, intercepted. Tyree Robinson. Robinson hurdles Sterling Cole. Hustling all the way back and a touchdown-saving tackle from N'Keal Harry. But Tyree Robinson probably just sealed it for the Ducks. 4th career interception for the junior from San Diego.
The eye discipline of Sterling Cole just not there yet as a quarterback, staring down the in-cutting route the entire way. And Tyree Robinson in zone coverage with his own eyes into the backfield takes advantage of the mistake from the young QB.
There is a flag down, but in the area where Robinson was hauled down.
After the interception and the conclusion of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 7 of Oregon for leaving the bench without his helmet to celebrate. First down, Oregon after a 15-yard penalty.
So they'll back it up, but an Oregon football with 3:52 to go, and maybe a change of fortune for Oregon on the good end of a late interception that could seal a win.
Well, you even think about that penalty itself. Now back outside the 30-yard line. You certainly don't want, as the most penalized team in the Pac-12 Conference, to pick up flags, but the rainbow in that cloud is you have more yards before this drive potentially comes to a head to try and run the clock.
Tony Brooks-James rustled down by George Lee. 2nd and 4. Tony Brooks-James waits for a hole to open. Down near the 10. Today's Ace Hardware player of the game. You look at the freshman, Justin Herbert. His numbers today.
Safe to say, it's been quite a day. And the 3rd career start, 2nd at home for this Eugene native. Sheldon High School, just a few short miles away from Autzen Stadium.
So in his 2nd career start, he ties the Oregon single-game record for touchdown passes in a game. In his 3rd career start, as Royce Freeman finds the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. There is a flag.
It doesn't appear to be a penalty that would take any points off the board for Oregon.
After the conclusion of the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4 of the defense. This 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff. Touchdown, Oregon.
It's on Karan Crump. 43rd career rushing touchdown for Royce Freeman.
Now in a tie for 3rd in total career touchdowns at the University of Oregon. When this offense is at its best, they're kind of like the Autobahn, just all speed, all tempo, difficult to keep up with. Here we've seen as the 4th quarter has sort of wound itself down, able to slow themselves down but continue to execute.
Hayden Schneider, who's been busy today. Another extra point. So I was rudely interrupted by Royce Freeman's touchdown run. So in his 2nd career start, Herbert ties an Oregon single-game record, 6 touchdown passes. Today he ties a single-game passing record. What's in store for USC next week?
You see Justin Herbert operating within the pocket, but teammates in space blocking in moments like this. And Pharaoh Brown especially had a big first half. both athleticism and artistry on display in the passing game for the Ducks. There's Brown again with another touchdown on the shorter ball. But Herbert, while it's not always a tight spiral, love the quick arm action, he's distributed the football to a number of different playmakers, looking like the Ducks offense that folks have come to expect over the years.
726 yards of total offense today for the Ducks.
One of the things that we addressed with Mark Helfrich yesterday is how the success on the offensive side of the football over the years that Oregon's been at their best, how that infiltrates the rest of the team. The energy the defense plays with, that extra heartbeat that the team steps onto the field with. And he mentioned the type of faith that they have in Justin Herbert in seeing that start to infiltrate the team.
It's good. Oh, wait, that was a kickoff. Matt Wogan just put it through the uprights with a short kickoff field after the penalty. But the last few weeks, you want to talk about youth? Sam Darnold, USC quarterback, since October 8th, 13 touchdowns, the most in the conference. Freshman. Justin Herbert.
Freshman.
Jake Browning.
True sophomore.
There you go.
Mike Fafel's inexperienced.
That's true.
Fifth-year senior. Hadn't been on the field much, but he won't be one of these young guns that we anticipate heading into 2017 Impact 12 play.
Freshman Dylan Sterling Cole. Wrapped up and goes down. Sterling Cole has thrown for 300 yards today. And it's incomplete, trying to get it to Frederick Gamage.
The offense he was in at the high school level, certainly not very complex. And so for him stepping directly into major college football is very difficult. It's why they planned on redshirting him.
Hit as he throws. Intercepted, a sliding catch by Brendan Schooler. And the freshman from Dana Point with his third interception of the season. That will seal the deal for the Ducks.
Well, after seeing on the last series the first interception by a cornerback this season from Tyree Robinson, now Brendan Schooler with his team leading third INT of the season.
And you feel for Dylan Sterling Cole thrown into a tough situation. And it's not just him, but a patchwork offensive line. Their best receiver, Tim White, hasn't played one snap on offense today. And the inexperienced freshman in his first career start in a tough place to play on the road coming to Autzen Stadium.
It was good to see some of the team leaders from Arizona State circle around him.
Kenai Benoit runs for another Oregon first down.
And we saw it just last week. We showed the clip earlier of Justin Herbert at the end of a game where he threw the interception that ended up closing the deal versus Cal last week. His head coach runs onto the field. The rest of his Oregon teammates run onto the field to pick him up. Now, on the sidelines at Autzen Stadium, camaraderie at an all-time high.
And Oregon will snap a 5-game slide as they assume the victory formation. And they'll also pick up their 10th consecutive win over Arizona State, where Oregon has scored now at least 40 points in each of the last 7 against the Sun Devils. It's the second longest conference winning streak against one opponent in Oregon history. The other was snapped a few weeks ago when their 12-game winning streak against the Huskies came to an end. And it's the 14th consecutive game that Oregon's been involved in a game where the combined score has been 65 or better, which is a college football record. Classy move right there by Mark Helfrich, acknowledging the effort from Arizona State and the competition out there as he goes to see Todd Graham and they shake hands. A lot more amicable the conversation for Todd Graham this week post-game.
Agreed. That is certainly safe to say. And these two teams, both these organizations, these programs, they came into the season with high hopes, as they always do. The level of success, not quite what we've come to expect in recent years, but the fan base here in Eugene, there's a lot to look forward to, I believe, when you see a true freshman quarterback like Justin Herbert in the lineup.
Let's send it down to Lewis Johnson.
Well, Coach, for 5 weeks in a row, you have not been able to catch this feeling, the feeling of winning. So what's it feel like for you, these players, and these fans to be back in the W column?
It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun. I mean, we still have obviously a million things to improve upon, but our fans have been awesome. They deserve it, and our players have worked their tails off and deserve it even more so.
What do you have to say about Justin Herbert? Yards, touchdown, and poise here today.
Yeah, he grew up. You know, they kind of completely changed their defense in the second half and caught us off guard a few times. But yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him.
And then the way your team stood up as Arizona State tried to make that comeback, what did you see in them today?
I almost enjoyed it more that way than if it would have been, you know, just to have to stand up again, and we have to grow up still. We had a couple of guys that were had gone mute there toward the end, and that's a great time where we need to step up and lead it through.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
All right, thanks, Lewis.
Roxy?
All right, Lewis, good stuff with Mark Helfrich and Anthony. Oregon getting back on track here with a terrific all-around performance, 734 yards of total offense.
The offense got it done, and the defense able to close the show.
Once again, our final score from Autzen Stadium, Oregon 54, Arizona State 35.